We're back. We're back with more the Berenstain Bears. I don't have like. There's no real good way to begin these episodes besides just saying hello and then jumping right into the theme song. So, hello. Welcome back to Deep in Bear Country, a Berenstain Bearcast. I am your host, Phil Gonzalez, and this week we're back looking at the Saturday morning TV show, The Berenstain Bears. We're on episode, I believe, 7, depending on who you ask. As you know, each episode is split into 2 stories. Those stories comprise episode, I think A and B is how they're listed. So this is 7A and 7B. Night to Remember and the Super Duper Bowl. Now, Night to Remember it says in the Wikipedia that Night to Remember was adapted from the book series, but I do not believe that's true. Then Night to Remember became a book in 1996, so more than 10 years after this episode aired in October of 1985. Night to Remember was adapted into a larger format storybook, which I covered on the show. I may have covered this episode years ago when I did it. Do not remember. I know that it's an actual factual story. I know it involves brother and sister, and according to the Wikipedia entry, this is one of a few episodes where neither Mama nor Papa physically appear. I don't know if they appear spiritually or emotionally or just in the sense that like their genetic code has been passed on to brother and sister. Therefore, they do appear in it the way I appear wherever my children go. I have no idea. The next episode, the Super Duper Bowl, not to be confused with the episode of I Love Raymond. Everybody Loves Raymond. What is it called? Everybody Loves Raymond. The episode of Everybody Loves Raymond, where a character says this isn't just a Super Bowl, it's a Super Duper Bowl, which is the other thing that pops up when you search Super Duper Bowl. And that is a Raffish Ralph ripoff special. And I do not believe Super Duper Bowl was ever adapted into any form of physical media. Brad, Jeremy, whoever, correct me if I'm wrong on that. Otherwise, we're going to hop right into this. We're going to watch ourselves a couple of Berenstain Bears episodes. Won't you join me watching? Or if you're listening along at home, I'll see you on the other side. That's my new catchphrase. I'll see you on the other side. Here we go. Oh, before everything starts, the version of this episode that is on, so this is 2 separate videos that I had to like sort of cobble together from the Berenstain Bears YouTube page, officially released, which is one of the reasons I'm able to do these without worrying about copyright strikes, because these are just available for free on YouTube. If you're going to watch the whole thing without my commentary, please go to their YouTube page and watch it there. But their videos on they are not directly sourced from like the original film available. They are sourced from, it looks like wherever they could get their hands on them, which is one of the reasons why these episodes aren't like the main Saturday morning episode then just split in half. They are assembled piecemeal from different sources. This one was taken from a VHS recording. Very clearly, there's some tracking issues and there's some heavy interference on the left side. You can't see it in my version, but there's some heavy interference on the left side. And the first half second of this episode begins with this screenshot right here. And it's not a screenshot. It's actually like the tail end of footage that then crossfades into the episode of the Berenstain Bears. I have been trying to source this. I tried to source this for like days. When I was assembling this footage, I was like, what's this at the very beginning? And that, but you can't just search this. I don't know what it's from. So the Berenstain Bears cartoon was actually featured as part of a package on the Learning Channel. They had, I think in like 98, 99, something like that. The Learning Channel had a block of preschool programming, and the Berenstain Bears was featured the Learning Channel had this block for many years, but the Berenstain Bears were only shown on it for like a year and a half or so, until like there were rights issues involved. But I'm almost certain this was from that. It could also be from like a Wake, Rattle, and Roll type show. Just a show that was a block of cartoons in between there would be host segments or just like things like and now, well, it's Professor so-and-so and today now let's watch an episode of the Berenstain Bears, and they'd like fade over. I have no idea. Anyone who knows where this image, this moment is sourced from, write in the comments or something, because I need to know. And it's not from Back to the Future. Just, I know that. It's not this. It looks like it could be. It's not from Back to the Future. I even tried doing a Google search on it. It's, I'll tell you right now, it is not from the movie Interstellar. That's what, first of all, 1980s or 90s, still, it's not from Interstellar. And that's what Google wanted me to believe it was from. It's like, oh, this is from Interstellar. This is from the classic film Interstellar. That must be Matthew McConaughey just off screen. In any case, let's get to watching. I don't have anything to add. This is a Stan and Jan Berenstain story. Let's get into it, buddy. So this is the actual factual
Let's go
mobile.
for 1,000. What do you say?
Music is incredible. People in the comments who commented on the awesomeness of this music.
3,
They're
4,
right. I'm going to turn this down just a bit. This is very loud in my ear.
What more they
There we go. So this is an episode that's going to give us a lot of insight into Sister's relationship with the bugs, the birds, the bees, the wild animals in Bear Country. It has a lot to do with, and this part right here too. We're getting to see Bear Country in action here. That's the back scratcher, which will have its own role to play in an upcoming episode, and we're getting to see how the bears live within their community, seeing actual factual come down from the hill and post a help wanted sign for archaeological digging it's a regular thing.
It has to do with digging up stuff to find out what happened in olden times.
Logical.
It's true, olden times.
Sounds like fun. Let's go help.
We'd better hurry. Tons of bears will be signing up.
Can I just say that I just love Stan and Jan's handling of dialogue? I think it's very fun.
Ah, my good friends, brother and sister bear. I should have known I could count on you.
I do base, when I read the books out loud, or did read the books out loud to my children, I would always, this was the actual factual voice I did, because that's the one I grew up hearing.
Aren't you going to wait?
I may have made him a
for
little more
Professor?
British.
Not much point. There's very little interest in my museum these days.
There must not be a college in Beartown where there's archaeology students who need to intern with him.
Actual factual is the foremost scientist of our time.
That's all very well. But if he wants bears to come to his museum, he's gonna need a little more pizzazz.
I can hear you, sister. I'm right in front of you. I'm literally feet in front of you.
I designed it myself. It's a convertible, you know.
I love the actual factual mobile. If I was a scientist, that's what I would drive. That's what I would drive. Not a vehicle on par with the Gadget Mobile and the Ghostbusters, the Filmation Ghostbusters transforming car.
What are we digging for, Professor?
In the 80s, we loved transforming
Wonderful
cars.
sight. I've already
But not
found
just
all
Transformers,
sorts of
but
fascinating things. A fragment of an ancient something or other. Be on the lookout.
That's
for
just
the
a
rest
dog
of it.
biscuit.
We'll keep our eyes peeled, Professor. Just what the professor needs to pull in the public.
Don't you worry, Professor. We're going to bring you luck.
My
Ah!
dear. Another fine
Corn
sight.
pops already.
There's no such thing as luck in archaeology. Just hard, slow, careful.
Found something!
I would say there is such thing as luck in archaeology. I think any archaeologist worth their salt would admit that some of it's just luck.
Well, I suppose there is such a thing as beginner's luck. Why, bless my spectacles. It looks like... Well, yes, it is. It's a gauntlet.
In the
It's from armor of the
storybook,
kind worn by a medieval
his beginner's
knight.
luck comment comes
Sister,
off as
where
far
did
more
you
like
find this
caustic and
phenomenal
sarcastic.
Right over here, Professor. And there's lots more!
Lots more.
Great heavenly tea bags. Do you know what you found? All the bits and pieces of a suit of medieval armor.
Question for archaeologists in the audience.
An
Is this a common thing to
archaeological
dig up
triumph.
in an
This is
archaeological
indeed a
dig,
date to
especially in
remember.
essentially
Professor,
America?
Don't you mean a night to remember?
Night to remember. Indeed.
A.
What's that? An inscription. Tongue of a toad, eye of a newt. He who disturbs this armored suit shall shiver and shake, and what is worse, shall suffer a medieval curse.
I can't wait to find out
It's almost like
how the suit of armor got buried, who wrote the
That's a lot of
curse,
stuff and nonsense, sister.
and how it plays into the end of this episode. How it all comes together at the end.
I must report our find to the Bear
Empty
Country
suit of armor.
Scientific Society.
With all respect, Professor, that can wait.
But my dear young friend,
The sister's right, Professor. The Night to Remember gives us a terrific chance to bring folks to your museum.
but the Berenstain Institution is one of the world's great museums. Why, its collection of vases and bowls.
And dust.
Of course it is.
You can tell it's one of the greatest museums. No one ever comes to it.
If we put that
It's
spooky
completely
old man
empty and
together
gathering
and set
dust.
him up with that axe, bears would come from all over.
Bears will come from all over to see a suit of armor, I guess. It's a good idea. It's something that an 8-year-old would think of.
Suspenders. I think you may be right. And I know
Ah.
just the place.
Adding
We'll set him
something
up
to
in the
my
old
museum
town
might
building.
attract
It's
visitors.
all spooky up there.
If only I had an assistant, another employee besides the man who helped me bring the robot to life.
He who disturbs this armored suit shall shiver and shake, and what is worse, shall suffer a medieval curse. Non-scientific
Does this-
piffle, unadulterated
Does this count as a
balderdash.
Halloween episode? I do like that there's a bear company that makes signs. Like, they don't just make their own signs in Beartown. They buy their signs.
Feast your eyes on this.
Don't
I wonder if he
miss
negotiated for
a
that
night
sign,
to remember.
Exciting
Sinners
new
style.
exhibit of new
Medieval.
armor. Terrific, Professor.
It's not really an exhibit of medieval armor. It's one example of medieval armor. Not really a full exhibit if it's just one suit of armor that you haven't even
Bears will be lined up for
like
miles.
figured out where it came from, like, why it's there.
Up to the tower.
Like, I don't know, it's just in the ground. I just found it in the ground. Who knows? Who can tell? It's clearly European. We don't know why it's here.
Not here for years.
Nobody except big old spiders and other belfry creatures.
Then why is there
Where is that light switch? Ah,
an
here it is.
evil, like, tower in the Bearsonian that clearly has stuff in it, but that no one's ever been in?
It's gonna be a job.
It'll be like putting Humpty Dumpty together again. Let's see now. The arm piece connected to the hand piece.
The shoulder piece connected to the body piece.
The headpiece connected to the neck piece. And what do we have?
A night to remember.
We get it. We get it. We've heard the joke.
Well, grand opening tomorrow. Be here extra early. I'll need you for crowd control.
I will say that in the book, they leave out
I thought I
giving
saw
away
the
what's
moon.
inside
And
the
I thought I saw
suit of
eyes
armor.
looking at us.
Not a twaddle. The axe falling was the merest accident. Ah, tomorrow's opening day.
Right,
Be
the book
here
is just
bright
like, and then
early.
the axe
But when
falls,
it
and
gets out, there'll be
I think it
fans
cuts
lined up
a
around
crumpet
the
in
block.
half or something. He's got crumpets up. You gotta know what a crumpet is to
Just
play
think,
cricket.
This time tomorrow, my museum will be filled with scads and scads of.
No, you have put one suit of armor out, and that bear is scratching her butt. There's a bear scratching her butt in that scene. Roll it back if you don't believe me. You were allowed to show that on TV in the 1980s. You could show a bear scratching her butt. You can't show that anymore.
Yahoo! My oh! Yahoo!
That was some Rubik the Amazing Cube
Night
type
to
special
Remember
effects.
Canceled?
It doesn't make any sense.
It makes a lot of sense. It's the curse. Last night I was chased out of the museum in my DJs by the night.
I did see that gauntlet move.
And I did see those eyes looking at us.
Come on, sis. This is a matter for investigation.
Wait for me.
This is ironic tension because we, the audience, know what it is, and now we just wait for them to catch up with us. We're not playing along with the main characters, the protagonists. We are outside observers. We are in on it with the authors.
Hook up the other end.
In the book, it's different. In the book, the irony. In the book, the suspense is based on us not knowing.
Yeah, you all.
This is very Hitchcockian. And so they mock the suit of armor. And here's where it all comes to light.
See? It's just the tower creatures protecting their space.
Look, they use the spider webs to work the night. Kind of like a puppet.
I bless my garters.
Okay.
So it is. Well, we must evict them. We must.
Hold it, Professor. Let me have a word
Never
with
seen
them.
actual factions so
What, with
angry at an
spiders?
animal before.
That's right. Sister can talk to little creatures.
I'll wring
but
that
not
next with
Little
these two
One of her
hands.
best friends is a butterfly.
Pretty pathetic, isn't it?
Well, what's the word?
I struck a pretty good deal. The creatures will remain in the tower, but will be a part of the exhibit doing their locomotion bit for the public.
It'll be a sensation. It'll be canceled. Oh, no.
Oh, the cancellation is cancelled.
Or you could have just put up the other sign. I guess it. Why'd you buy a sign in the first place if you could easily paint your own like that? I don't understand.
That certainly is a night to remember.
We get
That's
it.
right, madam. And last night was pretty exciting, too.
Did you like how they brought back the curse and where the armor came from? It doesn't. It doesn't matter. Let's move on to the Super Duper Bowl, a title they probably wouldn't be allowed to say now. Another Stan and Jan story, but this is written by Roby Gorin of Laugh-In fame. I think we talked about Roby. He's still alive. He's still a writer.
Oh, it's pretty far, Papa.
Don't you worry about that. I'll get under it. Give it all you got, son. I was all bear country 4 years in a row.
I bet you were.
Here goes. What a pass!
A lot of sports in these Berenstain
The
Bears.
old champ to the test. I'll get under it.
God,
Secret's
brothers.
all in the form.
Got a real arm cannon there. Just going. The ball, it's still going.
Hit the spot.
Brothers threw like a 600-yard pass. And it's just going. It's just going. He's thrown like 7 football fields. He's got the greatest. That's what the episode should be about. The fact that brother can throw further than anyone in the world ever has. Ever.
Papa!
I told you.
It didn't even start to descend with the curvature of the earth. It was such a hard throw. Brother, the ball could have left orbit.
I was just going to suggest that myself. Get the team together and we'll head over to the meadow.
He's a bouncy walker.
Oops!
Are you going to play tiddlywinks or football?
You screwing around?
Sounds like my favorite fool, Papa Bear. It's been almost a week since I played that blunderhead for a sucker.
Football!
We love him.
wanna play football!
Football means something.
It does?
It means courage, speed, fancy footwork, strategy.
I mean, I guess. It does mean strategy.
Papa, we just want to have fun.
You can't.
You
I mean,
will, because I'm
kid,
going to
football's
teach
not
you
fun.
my super secret razzle-dazzle Statue of Liberty play. Huddle, everyone.
There was a
First
Jetsons
thing you
episode
gotta
about this.
remember
By the
is
way,
don't
there was a
use
Jetsons
the
episode with the Statue of
in
Liberty
the old
play.
time. Save it for a special occasion when you're desperate.
That's us, Unc.
But these are all these kids are going to play each other, right?
Now here's what I want
There's
you
not
to do.
another team, right?
Always get out there.
Where's the other
Sounds
team?
kind of complicated.
Isn't that illegal?
Sounds like Fumble City to me.
Okay,
pull out a
let's
gun
see
and
some
shoot him.
snap, a little precision, some teamwork.
Yeah, like there's no other team.
Got football
You can't
fever.
whisper
Oh,
secret plays to your
I
team
do
because they're
believe
just
I
playing
have
each
just
other.
The right swindle and scheme plan.
All right now, team. Properly executed, this play is a guaranteed touchdown.
Against two! Of course it's a touchdown. You're not playing
Go
anyone.
for the touchdown.
I guess he's just teaching them
Hand it here.
plays? I guess.
I got it.
So you're not really playing football. You're just running
Bravo,
plays.
Coach, bravo!
Which I guess the
Your
kid said
play
they
was
didn't
a
want to do. I don't know.
masterpiece. A flawed masterpiece, to be sure, but that's to be expected, considering these less than optimum playing conditions.
It's that no-good swindler, Raffish Ralph.
I wonder what he's up to.
And what a fine little team, considering the pitiful equipment.
Well,
Why, you deserve better, bigger things, especially Papa, one of the greatest footballers of all time, buried here in this obscure bear country backwater.
I am?
We better do something.
it'd be funny if he's
before
just
Papa
like
gets hooked.
makes Papa a very
I think
famous
he
football player, and that's his like
already
deal. He's like,
Yes, bear country
I'm
is
gonna
just
manage
too
your
small
career.
canvas for someone
And then
who
he just
paints
makes him
with
a millionaire.
As broad a brush as Papa Q Bear. I've got just the rip-off, the racket, the proposition. Got just the thing for
That's some
whatever
some
ails you.
Horace J.
Raffish
Honeypot-esque
Ralph never
wordplay,
fails you.
word
As
fumbling
you will
there.
see, this remedy
You better watch you're not
doesn't
overstepping
come
your
in a
bounds there,
bottle,
Ralph.
It comes in a bowl. It's a Super Duper Football Bowl.
Football bowl?
Sure. There's Rose, Sugar, Cotton, Sun, Liberty, and Super. But we'll beat them all with Super Duper. Well, what do you say, chump? Champ?
A Super Duper Bowl? You know, I like the sound of that.
You
I
think
don't
Ralph
know what
is
that
on the
means.
level? Ralph is never
Now
on
what you
the
do
level.
see is when you're on the
Imagine what a
field,
boon to the
you take the
community
Super Duper
spirit it will
Bowl
be.
and you slam it into the side of your
You know
competitor.
what I mean.
Because that's all I can imagine.
Listen, I'll take care of all the details. Take the uniforms, for instance.
Swindle Catalog
Just
has
think how
a
much better
centerfold.
football you'll play when you wear uniforms made of 300% silk.
Ooh.
And that's not all, dear friends. Of course, there'll be plenty of national TV coverage. Here we are in Bear Country, folks. The atmosphere here is total, complete excitement as the Super Duper Bowl is about to begin.
Yay! But Papa, we're having a lot of fun just the way we're playing.
I still don't understand what
Why
Ralph's
do we
swindle
need a
is.
Super Duper Bowl.
The cover has a point. But it's kind of a shame because this hollow is a natural for the stadium.
Stadium? Our very own stadium?
Of course!
And I'll be the coach.
Coach! Why, you're going to be commissioner!
Commissioner Papa
I get
Q
what he's
Bear.
doing.
Of course, the
I
effort
don't-
is going to take a little front money. A
Oh, there
few
we
small donations from the citizenry, collected by the delightful Cubs.
So he wants to collect money for a football team
It'll bring in
that he's
millions.
planning on stealing.
Millions? You really think so?
Absolutely, positively. You raise the dough and leave everything else to me. I'll take care of everything.
It's gonna be a lot of work collecting door to door.
Not if we use teamwork. In just a couple of hours, we'll cover the whole town.
It just seems that it would have made more sense simply to establish a
you've
Pee Wee
got to
football
spare,
league
Granny.
and steal the money from there rather than having to go through all the rigmarole of
Do you think
buttering
that
up
he's
Papa
one of
Q
those
Bear.
TV sportscasters?
Don't see why not. Raffish Ralph has all kinds of connections.
Granny, your earring?
I'll be able to buy all the earrings I want when I become a sportscaster.
Thanks, Farmer Ben.
Oh, don't thank
Former
me,
Ben.
thank my cows.
I bet
don't
Big Paw
understand.
give us a big donation.
Oh, does Big Paw have money?
Papa, are you sure you can trust Raffish Ralph?
I don't think Big Paw
Well,
knows
why
what
shouldn't
money
I?
is, kids.
He's a con artist.
But he knows I'm too clever for it. Besides, making a fool out of a commissioner is a federal offense. Nope, we've got nothing to worry about.
He's
I
doing
got
like a
no
real,
money,
like,
but here are
Fat
two of my
Albert
best
walk.
shows.
Thanks, Thanks, Big Pa.
And if you need any help, I can carry the whole victorious team on my shoulders.
That'd be great, Big Pa. We'd better get
Also,
this back to
I
Ralph.
exist. Don't forget, I'm a real thing. Apparently lives up here.
This is the finest swindle, charity drive I've
We
ever
get
seen.
it.
And the best thing about it, Papa Bear, is you're going to get all the blame. And fame.
Appreciate that. Oh, here's the list.
The
of our
rhyming
uniform
malapropisms
sizes.
are getting old.
Sizes? Oh, yes. Sizes. Yes, indeed. They're all ordered.
But how?
My dear laddie, I had all of you sized up from the very beginning. In fact, I'll go and pick up the uniforms right now. Ta-ta.
I mean, they are all roughly the same
See,
size.
I told you we could trust Ralph.
It's the houseboat. We love it. Does he have his bird? Does his bird exist in the cartoon?
Hold a fast one on those rubes. A Super Duper Bowl. Oh, they really
They'll
fell
never
for that
catch me.
scam. Now all I have to do is skip town before those dimwits start wondering what happened to their uniforms.
But you'll have to come back to town eventually.
What did I tell you? That louse. Now what are we gonna do?
Who's this kid?
Hello, everyone.
Am I allowed to be here? I'm allowed to be here. I'm an
Papa,
unnamed
Statue of
cub.
Liberty play? 12, 18, 9.
What?
Hike!
You could have just called the
Give me
cops
that.
on him,
That's
I guess.
mine. I swiped it fair and square. Give it back. You can't do that.
I got it. Hand it here.
I mean, I get it, but it seems like a lot more trouble than it needed to be, especially considering the door was open. You could have just run out the door with it.
Go!
Stop. Come back.
Oh.
He's getting
Old no safety
closer.
rails Ralph.
I'll teach you to cheat me out of my swindle.
Pulls out a
What
gun.
do we do?
I'll teach you.
Coming back for more shows?
Big Pa, you're just the bear we need.
When
Kill
I
that
get
guy.
through with you,
Kill
you
him.
Wish you...
Remember how you tried to kill the cubs in one of those scout
What
books?
were you
Well,
saying, Ralph?
Oh, I was just wishing you delightful cubs a good day.
Good work, Big Pa.
is he like the rawhead
I'm gonna
Rex
miss
of Bear
not having
Country?
that football stadium almost as much as I'm gonna miss not being Commissioner Papa Q Bear. Guess you were really looking forward to those flashy uniforms and stuff.
No problem.
We were.
Papa.
Thanks, Papa. Thanks a lot for ruining it for everyone.
Just want to have fun.
Besides, we don't need a Super Duper Bowl.
Because we have a super duper dad.
Dog. Gosh. Okay. And that was it. So, yeah. So, that was the Berenstain Bears episode 7. We're just going to kick it to the end of the theme song because we love it so much. Here we go. 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 Yes. Okay. I have to see the lightning at the end. It's all about the lightning at the end. It's the most dynamic, production company logo acknowledgement in cartoon history. The lightning at the end. Thank you, Australia, for understanding that we want the lightning at the end. All right, I'm going to pop these off. See you on the other side. And I'm back. I'm back. Just watched the Berenstain Bears episode 7, Night to Remember, not The Night to Remember or A Night to Remember. It's not about the sinking of the Titanic. It is about a suit of armor that comes to life and the Super Duper Bowl. Literally a Super Duper Bowl, which I assume they had to make a bowl, physical bowl, in order to legally make it called the Super Duper Bowl. I know that the Super Bowl is extraordinarily litigious when it comes to anyone using, it's like the Oscars. You can't like do an Oscars episode of a show unless you're an official part of the Oscars. You have to call it like the big award show or something, because they're very, very like careful about who they let use the name the Oscars or Academy Awards. And the Super Bowl is the same. So if you watch an episode of a show that features the Super Bowl, like because trying to tie into Super Bowl Sunday, they usually will never say Super Bowl. They'll say the big game usually. The big game's this weekend. Who you rooting for in the big game? And you as an audience know who they're talking about, but they don't call it the Super Bowl because I think you have to pay for using the name. You certainly have to pay to use any of the logos or team logos or anything. That's copyrighted up the hoo-ha, or trademarked up the boo-boo. But so it seems like in this episode, well, we'll get to it because the first episode is Night, K-N-I-G-H-T, Night to Remember, and this is a strange little tale. Of brother and sister hanging out playing in the park when Actual Factual shows up in his Actual Factual mobile, and he hangs a sign up on the back scratching tree. We know it's the back scratching tree because he literally scratches his back on it, which is amazing. I love a little nod to like bear country lore there. So he hangs up a thing. He's looking for archaeology assistance. Like he's help wanted. He needs someone to help him in an archaeology dig. As I said in the episode, there must not be any kind of like advanced schooling near Beartown because otherwise he would have some, if not archaeology students, at least students looking to intern for credit somewhere. But no, there's no college age cubs or college age bears anywhere, as far as I can tell, in near this town. So there must have been some sort of calamity that kept people from reproducing for a chunk of time. And that's why there's only cubs of a certain age, but no like high school age cubs or like young college age bears. So Actual Factual has resorted to advertising on a tree for archaeology help. Brother and sister think it'd be fun to do, but they doubt they'll get to do it because they're certain that people are going to be lining up to help out Actual Factual, but of course they're not. It's a boring thing, archaeology, as the Cubs think. Well, as we think the Cubs are soon to discover. They don't ever discover this. But what they do discover is that the Berenstain Museum is the most boring place in Beartown, I guess. You would think that they would have go to the Berenstain quite a few times, like quite a bit, but they seem to not. Because when they go in, they're like, everything in here is dull as dirt. It's no wonder nobody ever comes to this museum. However, they also refer to Actual Factual as like the greatest bear mind of the century. So he's clearly not smart enough to know how to get people to come to his museum. But he's like, well, we're going out to do some archaeological digging. It might take a while. It's going to be dusty. It's going to be hot. But he's looking for something to like zazz up the place. They go to some random place in Beartown. Sister's like, I hope I find something cool. And he's like, that would take a lot of skill. She's like, or maybe some good luck. And he's like, there's no such thing as luck in archaeology, which I beg to differ. There has to be a little bit of luck in archaeology. She digs for like 5 seconds, finds a metal gauntlet. Eventually, they dig up an entire suit of armor that's been inscribed with a curse, a rhyming curse in English, saying that whoever disturbs this suit of armor is going to be cursed. And the Cubs are frightened by it, but Actual Factual is like, no such thing as curses. My question was, where did the suit of armor come from? It's clearly a medieval suit of armor. Actual Factual goes so far as to say that. He puts up a sign saying, come to see the medieval suit of armor. He thinks it's going to be a cool new exhibit that'll get people to come to the museum. But he never does any research on it, it seems. He never tries to figure out how this medieval suit of armor got buried in bear country pretty deep. Like, they have to dig it out. I would think it was just a movie prop or something, because they don't have wasn't a lot of like feudal lords in Beartown, as far as I can tell, in bear country at all. I get all the flashbacks to older history we've never seen knights jousting. We've never seen suits of armor. That's all bear European stuff. So I don't know. I don't know why Actual Factual. He's not a historian, I guess. He's certainly not a historian. But he puts up a sign saying, come see this thing. But after he puts the suit of armor up, we, the audience, witness animals from the attic. Like this, there's a tower in the Berenstain that no one ever goes to. It's filthy and dirty. That's where they put the suit of armor. I guess they want people to walk up to it. They put the suit of armor up there, and animals crawl into it. And then the axe it's holding chops down and almost hits them. And they're like, whoa, it must be the curse. And Actual Factual, like, no such thing as a curse. But that night, Actual Factual is going to bed. He sleeps in the museum, by the way. We find that out. He sleeps in the museum. And he hears noises. He goes upstairs, and the suit of armor is moving. Now, we know it's most likely those animals we saw go in and then look out with their, like, beady eyes. Like, we know that there's something manipulated, but Actual Factual doesn't realize this. We, as the audience, though, do. And in the book, they cut that. They cut any indication that the suit of armor is being manipulated by something internally. So we, as readers, are led to believe it might be a haunted suit of armor, just like Actual Factual. In the TV show, not so much. We are right there with the animals. We're simply waiting for Actual Factual to figure it out. He cancels the exhibit because he's been chased by a suit of armor, but the Cubs are like, let's try one more thing. They set up a trap where they put a chain across a doorway, and they go into the room where the suit of armor is. They taunt the armor, and it chases them. When it trips over the chain, the suit of armor explodes, and all these animals come out. And they discover that it's the animals who live in the attic who simply don't want Actual Factual to take. They don't want to lose their home, I guess. It's weird because they didn't move into the suit of armor until they put it in the attic. At which point they were like, you absolutely can't get rid of this thing. Which I'm like, well, there's a ton of other stuff in this tower room that you have clearly been living in for a while. What's with the suit of why the suit of armor? They decide to let the animals. Actual Factual is like, I'm going to get rid of those animals, and they're like, no, leave them. Well, they can move the suit of armor around and like spook people out when they come to the exhibit. I guess it'll be a selling point. So they start the exhibit up again, and it's a huge hit. And Actual Factual is like, thanks, kids. And at no point in the episode, nowhere in the storyline, though, do we ever discover why there was a suit of armor with a curse buried in bear country. It's never brought up again. The curse was introduced simply to have the reason for them to assume that the suit of armor was alive or haunted or something. Never brought up again. So you, listeners at home, what's your theory? Who do you think buried it? I think it's just a movie prop. I think it's a movie prop, and that Actual Factual is a terrible museum curator who does not bother to do any research. There's not even any like text or anything. What people are going to come see it. It's going to take them all of 5 minutes. And then what? Like, then they just leave? I guess that's it. There's nothing. Oh, they can watch it dance around, I guess, because there's animals inside, which they will quickly figure out. They'll quickly figure it out. So, still, it's a pretty charming episode. I love Actual Factual. I love talking like Actual Factual. I love like doing his voice. I love any stories involving him because he's such a weird. I know I've talked about it in the past, but the archetype of the neighborhood scientist is something that only seems to exist in children's fiction. The idea that they have, whether it's from Doc Brown, Mr. Wizard, the idea that everyone's neighborhood has at least one scientist who's just sort of a general scientist working there. Just like every neighborhood has one old lady who everyone thinks is a witch. Like everyone has one general know everything scientist that they can turn to for inventions, for questions, whatever. So that's Night to Remember. Then we jump over to Super Duper Bowl. And this is a Raffish Ralph ripoff episode. And it's about how Raffish Ralph overhears Papa coaching the kids through some football moves. Like the Cubs want to play football, like the neighborhood Cubs. And Papa decides to take over because he used to be like an all-star football player in high school, I guess. And the kids just want to play, but he wants to coach them. They're like, fine. So he starts teaching them some complicated football plays, which is pretty cool. Like it's an aspect of football that doesn't really get much like lip service in children's programming, but football is all about memorizing incredibly complicated plays. Football players have to really use their memories. They have to drill these plays over and over again in order to make them second nature, so they don't have to think about them. It's something that you don't really think about as a spectator unless you know the game. But part of being a football player is just knowing knowing how they call the play, and then knowing what your role in that play is. As they say, the difference between football, American football, and European football, which we call soccer, is that in American football is all about people of different abilities and different styles and different play backgrounds coming together and sort of like homogenizing their play so that they can learn these very specific regimented plays and then use their strengths to make those plays like become effective maneuvering, almost like in a battle. Whereas soccer, European football, soccer is about people coming from various backgrounds, various strengths, various talents, and letting those talents determine the movement on the field, letting those talents, like being in sync enough as a team that you know how to play off and with each other's specific abilities. So football is more like war. Soccer is more like the X-Men. They all have different talents, but sometimes Colossus has to throw Wolverine at a Sentinel to win, which you can't do in soccer in real life. So he's teaching them all these plays. Who should walk by but Raffish Ralph ripoff, who's like, and you're like, oh no, Raffish Ralph's going to do something. Bear in mind, this is like 5 minutes from the end of the episode. Like, most of the episode is taken up watching the Cubs practice a football play. He huddles the Cubs up too at one point. He's like, all right, here's what we're going to do. I got the top secret Statue of Liberty play. And I'm like, why are you huddled up? It's just one team. Like, you're just one, like, you don't have to lower your voice. There's no one else that can hear it because you're just running plays. You're not playing against anyone. That aside, Raffish Ralph has this idea. He's going to flatter Papa Bear by saying, like, I know you're the greatest football player in Bear Country. How would you like to be the football commissioner? I'm going to start a whole league, and I'm going to build you a stadium here in Beartown, and you can be the football commissioner, and you'll have the greatest team, and I'm going to buy them uniforms and equipment, and all you need to do is invest. Now, at one point, he goes on this ramble about, like, I got a bowl here, and he picks up like a gold bowl, and he's like, you've heard of all kinds of bowls? Well, this is going to be not he's like, you hear like Rose and this and that and Super. Well, this is a Super Duper Bowl. And then he like puts the bowl away and you never see it again. I assume that was included because they're like, you have to have him holding a bowl. Therefore, we're allowed to call it the Super Duper Bowl because we have deniability. It's like, well, it's not really about the Super Bowl. It's about this particular bowl that Raffish Ralph Ripoff. And it never comes up again because Ralph is like, all you got to do is pay in, get your community support, and I'll, and of course, sister and brother are like, especially sister. Sister's like, this is a scam. Like, this is a scam. Like, this is just a scam. It's Ralph ripoff. It's what he does. No one else listens to her, though. They go around the neighborhood collecting money. They hand it to Ralph, who's like, now I can put it in an order for your uniforms. And brother's like, don't you need to decide? He's like, I'm going to go pick up your uniforms. It's this whole thing where he's clearly lying. He says he's going to go pick up their uniforms. The Cubs follow him. They see him get onto his houseboat and are like, well, he's stealing our money. So they go to Big Paw, who's like unexpectedly shows up because Big Paw has given them like money, I guess. I can't remember. He donates something to the team. And they're like, we need your help against Ralph Ripoff. So they go to his houseboat. It's the first appearance of the houseboat in animation that I've seen. They go to his houseboat and they use Papa's football play that they learned to steal the money back. Like they go along and pass and they throw the money bag and they catch. But it's brother and sister, cousin Fred, and unknown cub. It's the four of them. Very clearly, it's a cub in like a toque, like a snow hat, like a woolen cap, who I've never seen in my life. He doesn't have any lines, but he's there with them, the three of them, and unknown cub, who I don't know who is supposed to be. Barry Bruin, Herbie Cubison, no idea. But good on you, unknown cub, for getting a little screen time there. They use the football play to steal the money back. Ralph chases after them, but they go to Big Paw, and Big Paw intimidates him away. And they're kind of just like, it's a shame that, like, and Papa's like, I wish I got my stadium to be commissioner. And they're like, we just wanted to play football. Like, we just want to have a good time. And he's like, good. We'll go whatever. That's the end of the episode. So, see, episode 7, we have two We have 2 episodes. We had Night to Remember and we had the Super Duper Bowl. Now, usually I come down on the side of a Raffish Ralph episode. I love Raffish Ralph. He's ridiculous. He has a ridiculous voice, ridiculous look, and he like bounces up and down when he walks. It's really weird. But on this episode, this time I'm going to have to give I'm going to have to weight it on my choice of which episode I preferred, which I've never done before, by the way. This is a new thing I'm doing, and I'm going to forget about it next episode. I'm going to forget I ever did this because I have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder that I'm not medicated for because I've never been medicated for it. I tried to get medication for it, and the medication did 2 things. It made it so I could not stand up very well. I would get very dizzy and fall over. I've tried a couple of different ones, and then it made me forget how to pee. I couldn't pee anymore. Like literally, my body was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like I go to the bathroom, my body would be like, I'd be like, oh, I really got to go to the bathroom. And I get to the bathroom, my body would be like, what? Who? What? No, I don't know. I don't know what you're going through. What is this? What's this you're saying? Peeing? So I had to stop. I just stopped trying. I was like, you know what? I take anti-anxiety meds. I also have very bad anxiety. I take anti-anxiety meds, which, as I say, and I've said a million times, I still have all the symptoms of ADHD, but I don't worry about them anymore because of my anxiety medications. And I don't remember to do things very easily. Like if you tell me, Alana, the wonderful Alana, who's been on many of my episodes, Alana told me the other day, like last night, she was like, could you do this and this? She goes, could you go do this? And she was like, oh, and while you're there, make sure you do this. And I was like, I will. And I went and did what I was supposed to do. And I came back upstairs or downstairs. And she was like, oh, and did you get the da? And I was like, no, I knew there was something else. Probably said it a bad word. But I was like, I meant to do that. And I'm walking upstairs or downstairs. And I was like, because she told me to do 2 things. And like one just pushed the other one out. Like it just pushes it out, which is what happens to my brain. So I'm never going to remember to do this again. But Night to Remember. I'm going to fall on the side of Night to Remember. It might count as a spooky episode. It might count as a Halloween. You get like this vision of the ghost of the night in the clouds at one point. It's like, oh, I will curse you, because the kids are afraid of him. You get a lot of like dark cobwebs. You get the spiders are back, and you learn that Sister's communication with the animals extends into the Saturday morning show. Brother's like, Sister can talk to her best friend's a butterfly, which is a shame because her best friend's going to be dead in 2 weeks, but what can you do? He's like, our best friend's a butterfly. I bet it's a different butterfly every time. I bet she doesn't know. I bet the butterflies have like a thing where they're just like, don't tell Sister that Fernando died. Like, just bring in Rosalita. She won't know the difference. We all look the same to her. I don't know why they were Fernando and Rosalita. No idea, but that's in my headcanon. That's the butterflies. They're constantly passing away and replacing it because they don't want to hurt Sister's feelings. She's a bear. She doesn't get their lives, understand their life cycles. There's no children butterflies, by the way. So all of her friends who are butterflies and frogs are adults. She's friends with adults because children frogs are tadpoles and children butterflies are caterpillars. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Big thumbs up to both episodes, but a slight edge to Night to Remember. And also pick up a copy of the book if you can find it. If you find it used, Night to Remember, it's a good book. It's fun. So that's it. That is the Berenstain Bears from 1985, episode 7, Night to Remember, Super Duper Bowl. I'll be back soon with even more goodness. Nothing more to add. Nothing more to add. Everybody enjoy your day. Hope you enjoyed seeing part of the bed in the office because my camera's pointing in a weird direction, and I will see you all next time deep in Bear Country.